Nation, welcome to the #1 show and podcast here for the Miami Dolphins at FIU. It's your boy Esteban, Big Guapo Rodriguez.
I'm Alfredo, the leader of Two and On.
And it's your boy, The Truth or Ant.
Depends whether we win.
Yeah.
Listen, I am hyped, all right? I went to the Sunday night game, all right? And I got a surprise for y'all, all right? Watch. Woo! Oh shit, what happened?
Oh man.
Let's go. Get a zoom on this one. Let's go.
Rodriguez.
First win in 3 games.
Who's the best number 11 on the team now? Is it you or Cedric Wilson, bro?
It's me, bro. Better than Chase Claypool, too.
Cedric Wilson had some questionable punt returns, bro. I think it might have to be you.
Devontae Parker, too.
A lot of questionable things happened in the return, but Tua, we got to talk about Tua coming back. That was just amazing to see him coming back, and now not being half bad.
Honestly, as our resident Tua stan here, even if my guy didn't have the greatest game, we had the offense was firing in the first quarter, but we didn't do much else after. Just made me really happy to see him back on the field, man. It had been so long, and the offense looked like revitalized again. Everybody looked happy to see him. The team looked fresh, even if we struggled the rest of the game. I'm just glad that we were able to get that first rusty performance out of him, and hopefully he can be back to his normal self against the Lions this weekend.
Yeah, I think it was awesome to see him back. It's just so exciting when a player comes back from injury, especially your star quarterback. And he played well. It wasn't a perfect game by any means. He had some questionable throws, as I'm sure you guys saw. But still came away with the win, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, Tua proved that this is his team. It was a whole different ambience. It was a whole different feeling. The team was just, more hyped to see that the star quarterback has returned from an injury. But as Anthony said, he did have some questionable plays. He did have 4 possible interceptions that were just missed. I know the Steelers are mad about that one. I mean, I would be too. Although he came back, he wasn't 100%.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Tua has to be the luckiest quarterback in the league, because that was his worst game of the season in my opinion. And we're lucky to have gotten a win out of it, and that the Steelers defense was dropping picks all over the place, because otherwise he would have lit up the stat sheet with interceptions.
Yeah, another thing I noticed was he was looking for contact. I don't know if you guys saw when he was running the ball, he was not scared to go into.
My guy was running the ball like he didn't just come out of.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's probably a concussion symptom. He forgot what he had just been doing the last couple of weeks, because that guy was insane.
Yeah, dude, going into the Devin Bush, anyone, linebackers, it didn't matter.
All of that, and then he didn't even get the first down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was scary to see, but he looks confident, and I'll tell you one thing, one team didn't drop a lot of interceptions, and that was the Dolphins.
Dolphins with the 3 picks, guys.
Well, before we get into that, Javon Holland, he's a stud, and we know him. We know him to come up big in moments like that. Noah Igudabada, I don't know how to say his last name.
Antetokounmpo.
Big shout out Noah, bro.
He's been the subject of a lot of criticism since he got drafted, and I'm gonna still give him that criticism, because I thought he was awful this game. I'm not gonna lie, he was getting cooked, and he gave up a lot of first downs. He gave up 4 of them, and he gave up a touchdown as well, the only passing touchdown of the game for the Steelers.
Nice catch, though.
Yeah, he came up with the interception, but I have to be honest, man. If you're a cornerback in the NFL and that ball comes to you, you have to make that pick.
A horrible throw.
Yeah,
horrible throw.
It's a good moment for him personally. I hope he can pick it up from that point on. But come on, man. That guy was getting baked by that receiving core that isn't even all that good in my opinion. He just had that one good moment, which he had to have, and I'm happy it was him. But yeah, I don't want to give him too much credit for that one pick.
Yeah, and another thing, it wasn't even just the players. The play calling was also questionable. I mean, they had the opportunity to up the lead by 19 to 7 or 10, but they decided to go for that 4th down and they didn't end up getting it. And from there they never had the chance to score.
Honestly, I respect the call though. It was bad in retrospect because we didn't get the first down, but I like the aggression. Maybe I would have made the same call personally. Maybe that's why I'm not an NFL head coach, but I would have done the same thing, to be honest. I like the aggression from Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, for me, the more questionable call was in the fourth quarter on the third down, 3rd and 3, and they decided to throw the ball when the Steelers had no more timeouts. That could have pretty much ended the game if they got the first down, and McDaniel decided to throw it. So he did make some mistakes, but as long as the mistakes come in a win, he could learn from it and move forward.
Yeah, and another thing is that straight up, the Dolphins need to start scoring again.
Yeah.
You know, the only reason why they won was because they scored that many points in the first quarter. 13. They didn't do much after that. It was basically just a punt off for the rest of the game.
Yeah, the defense kept them in the whole time, and the defense was amazing on Sunday. I mean, the Steelers' offense isn't like a top 10 offense by any means, but they were fantastic. Like Van Ginkel was everywhere. Phillips was great and was involved in 2 sacks. We already went over Javon Holland and Noah coming up with the 2 huge picks.
Another new guy is Justin Bethel. Also had his first
as well,
interception of the game.
The first quarter pick.
Yeah. That was exciting.
Defense was everywhere. I thought that was definitely their best performance of the season. Maybe the Bills one can rival that one, but yeah, they were great.
Yeah, for me, the defense, like you said, Phillips, to me, Jalen Phillips had a great game, just in the run and with the pass rush. And then also Xavier Howard. You didn't hear his name, and that's a good thing for cornerbacks.
Yeah, I just realized he wasn't targeted more than twice into the fourth quarter.
And he shut down anyone that they put in front of him. It was Deontay Johnson, Claypool, anyone. Pickens too.
Yeah, y'all already know. Xavier Howard's my guy, bro. And I was waiting for that play, and no one ever threw to him. Yeah. I was like, give my guy a chance, bro. It could have been 4 picks.
No, but Kenny Pickett knew not to throw that to Xavier either, man. He knew. But also, the Dolphins' running game is a big concern for me so far.
I mean, yeah, during the game, yeah, it did feel like they couldn't get the rush established. But you look back at the stats. I mean, it wasn't all that bad. I mean, they had over 100 yards rushing. You know, I think the longest play was 12 yards that they got in the rushing. But in terms of as the game itself, like they couldn't get a score or any big play off of it. Yeah. But the rushing game was well established.
Well, that's because of Raheem Mostert, in my opinion. He's proved he's going to be the starting running back by far over these last couple weeks. And Chase Edmonds, man, we got to get him a seat and a mic up here because he's going to be joining us by the end of the season if he keeps this up. Dude, that guy needs a permanent seat on the bench for a long time.
He cannot catch.
Yeah, he cannot catch. That's my biggest problem with Mike McDaniel up to this point in the season, that he continues to give this guy playing time.
For me, Gaskin is better than him. And
I was just about to say that he has to be taken out of the rotation permanently, even if that means calling up Myles Gaskin, which we haven't seen. We've seen him in one game.
Yeah, one game. Yeah, for me, it wasn't the worst running performance, but it wasn't the best either. I think next week against the Lions, they'll have a better opportunity just because the Lions' defense as a whole is one of the worst in the league. So hopefully we'll see better performance next week.
Yeah, and speaking of seeing the better performance next week, the Lions. That's our next opponent. We're on our way. We're playing over there in Detroit. And even though they're on a 4-game losing streak, it's not by that much. I mean, out of 4 of the games that they lost, 3 of them have been by 1 possession. 4 points or less. All right? So and that's not something I want to take a chance on because we kept this game also very close too. Like they're also a scrappy team. They just happen to lose. Yeah. Just like the New York Giants on the other side, they're also a scrappy team. They keep it close, but they're 6-1 right now. Yeah. So it could go either way.
I don't know, man. They're 1-5 for a reason, though. They can't capitalize in those close games. Like, come on, man. I don't want to go into this game like with expectations like I did for the Jets game, but like let's be serious. They're 1-5 for a reason. They keep those games close, but they can't capitalize. I think the Dolphins have proven that they can win ugly games. Like they did against the Bills, like they did against last week against the Steelers. But come on, let's be real for a second. That Dolphins defense is going to be all over Jared Goff in the passing game. That is not good at all. Their biggest strength is probably their running game. And the Dolphins defense has struggled so far against tough running games. But like, I'm not expecting much out of a 1-5 team. Maybe I'm being a little too confident in the Dolphins with Tua back, but those are just my thoughts. Plus, another full week with Tua having first-team reps, getting everybody back up to speed on the same page is only good news for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tua is going to look a lot better in this game. And I did write this week that the Lions did score 45 points in a game, so there's always that risk that they can go off their offense. Jared Goff was a high pick, a lot of expectations for him. He's kind of been pretty mid this year, but you never know, especially with Amon-Ra St. Brown. He might not play. I think he's questionable right now. He got taken out with the new Tua rule last week. He didn't even have a concussion, but they took him out anyways. So they have some good playmakers on that team. Also on the defense, Jeff Okuda. The guy's a stud, the corner. But I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Alfredo's point of view that I just think the 1-5, they got shut out by the Patriots. They lost last week 24-6. They're not a good offense right now. They have had good performances this year, but our defense is playing at a really high level right now, and I think we'll be fine.
I mean, yeah, I've eaten my words more than a couple times on this show, so I don't want to say anything, right? But y'all are correct. So the Lions are 1-5, all right. But what do we feel like their record is going to be like after Sunday?
1-6, man. Come on, they're on a 4-game losing streak. It's going to be 5 after this one. And I think the Dolphins are going to get back on schedule where they're supposed to be. I don't think anybody expected the Dolphins to jump out to that 3-0 start. But also no one expected them to have their starter out for 3 weeks and have to play with Skyler and Teddy. So the Dolphins are going to get right back on schedule. I'm going to say this is going to be a dominant win by the Dolphins. The offense is going to put up points. The defense is going to shut that offense down. I'm going to say 27-10 Miami.
Yeah, I think Halloween is going to come a day early. It's going to be spooky for the Lions. That was corny. No, but
keep going, bro.
No,
we're leaving that.
Yeah, bro, leave that in, bro.
I think the Dolphins' defense is going to dominate like they did last week. It's just another bad offense for them to match up against. So I'll go similar. I'll go 28-10. 10 again.
No, I think the Lions are going to be scrappy in this game too. I mean, odds are that they'll play better at home because those are what the stats say. They keep it close or they win at home. They've only had 2 games, but still, from the previous season, from what I think they're going to be pretty close. My prediction is going to be 30-24 Dolphins, and I feel like the Dolphins are going to keep this winning score for the next 4 games until they play the 49ers at home.
I was just about to say this next stretch of games is the easiest one we have all season. Our remaining opponents for the rest of the season have a combined record of 30-36-1. So we got the tough part of the schedule out of the way. The Dolphins really need to capitalize on these games for the remaining part of the season. I mean, they have a couple tough games. Obviously, the 49ers. We still have to see the Jets, who are somehow serious this year. We got to see the Packers. And obviously we still have to see the Bills one more time. So they have a couple tough games coming up, but they really need to eat this part of the schedule up to put us in good position to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, and so with the AFC East also playing a lot better, the Patriots luckily did lose last week, but we were at the bottom with them after the 3 losses. So we need to start winning games again because once those division games come around, like you said, the Bills still, Jets still, and one more Patriots game. We need to win those if we want to have a chance to maybe win the division. The Bills are kind of looking really scary right now, but if we can beat them one more time, I think we have a chance at winning the division.
Well, there you have it. We got our predictions in. The Dolphins, and our prediction is what we're going to win. And finally, for the first time in this show, we all decided to be wearing Dolphins merch. So, yeah, give it up for that. We finally got all into accordance, bro.
Come on, man. They saw the other camera angle.
Oh, right.
Not Dolphins
so we were very close to
Dolphins colors. Dolphins colors.
First time in a long time we all predict a win too. So.
Oh yeah.
Last week.
That's because we got Tua back.
Last week we predicted. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever. Regardless, we're gonna have back-to-back wins for the first time in a while.
Yeah. So with that said, thank you all so much for watching. This has been Phin Tank, the #1 podcast and show for the Miami Dolphins here at FIU. Thank you guys for so much. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week, bro. We're leaving that.
Read my article.